So I've already checked this room because I'm not going to come in and do a safety check while I'm recording. That's crazy. But this is how I would prop the door open with the bag. Ugh. I'm gonna go ahead and move it so my door is not just open. But the first thing I come in is, depending on how it's laid out, I'll check the bathrooms. So if there's a door, I'm gonna check behind the door. This bathroom has a sliding glass door on it, but I would check behind the door, check the shower, especially if there's a shower curtain. I always check the closet, which in this case is behind the sliding door. So I'm gonna check the closet. The closet is empty. Come in, you check around the walls. And I'm going fast because you want to do this quickly. You don't want to take forever. You check under the bed. Nothing there. I like the hotels that have the box under the bed because all you do is like kick with your foot and you'll hear and make contact with the metal box. You just want to check everywhere. If there's chairs in your room, you check behind the chairs. Obviously, that's not enough space for someone to be, but sometimes you'll have the couch at a caddy corner or something. There could be space. Check your balcony. You want to make sure your balcony is locked if you have one, and check behind your curtain. So just make sure there's no one standing up in there behind the curtain. So those are all of the things I check. Then once I know my room is secure, I'll come over here and I will latch the safety lock, and then I will latch this lock. Sometimes some hotels, it does like a deadlock. There we go. I had to like jiggle it so that the deadbolt lined up with the hole. But sometimes an actual deadbolt will engage, and sometimes it's just a magnetic deadbolt in a way. So you'll turn it and you'll hear like a little click. Basically what this does is when the key is inserted from the outside, it will flash red instead of green, and it will not grant access into the room. So that turns off the magnetic key, and then this is just an extra precaution so that if the door does open, obviously this will stop it. I prefer these type over the chains because the chain you can reach in with some type of apparatus and unhook it, like slide it and unhook it and do whatever. But these, there's no way you're getting around this. And then if someone knocks on your door, always check your peephole. Always check your peephole. And always check your peephole. I lost my whole train of thought. Always check your peephole and ask who it is. And if they happen to say, oh, I'm here from maintenance, something. If you didn't call for maintenance, call down to the front desk and say, hey, I have someone up here saying they're from maintenance. Did you guys send someone up? And if they're like, yeah, then you find out why. You know, if you don't want someone to enter your room, you do not have to grant in. Blah. You do not have to grant access into your room, but always be sure that whoever's on the other side of the door identifying themselves was actually sent up by the front desk, or that they're actually an hotel employee. Additionally, there have been times when I've left the room, and I'm gonna show you what I do. Let me put my bag away. Well, not away, but let me move it. So what I do is I'll grab a piece of paper. There's usually like a little notepad in the room. I just grab a piece of paper. I need my key because I'm gonna have to close the door. But what I'll do is I'll take this. Let me turn this on. Okay, so see that? You see how when I tried to open it, so I'll take the piece of paper and I'll go like this. And then see what happens when the door opens. It falls on the floor. Oh, come here, little paper. So basically, when I leave out my room, I will put that piece of paper in the door, and that way when I come back, I'll know if my door has been opened for whatever reason, because the piece of paper will no longer be there, because when the door is opened, it falls. So it's my own little security system. So when I come back to my room, I'll know, okay, no one has entered my room because I put the piece of paper in this specific area with this much showing. Boom, done. There was one time when I came back to my room and the paper was missing and I didn't know why. So I went back downstairs. I didn't enter the room. I went back downstairs to the front desk and asked if someone could go up with me because I wanted to check my room because I felt uneasy. I don't care if people look at me crazy. I don't care if people think I'm being extra. This is my safety, and that's what I care the most about. So one of the security guards came up with me while I checked my room. Everything was good. Nothing was missing. So I don't know why the paper was gone. I don't know if a maid was walking by and saw it and pulled it out or whatever, but that's my personal security system. Also, there's things you can buy. There's some fancy door stop thing, but what you can get that's even easier than that is get one of those door jams. It's like a rubber wedge that goes under the door. This is kind of old school. And you put it under the door from the inside, so that way when the door is opened, it's going to jam up against that wedge and it will stop the door from opening. So there's little things you can do and travel with that will add extra layers of protection. So if you are coming and going, you know that things are good. So that was me doing a safety check at my hotel room. It's something I recommend everyone do, whether you're a flight attendant, whether you're traveling on leisure, on vacation. Check your hotel room. It may sound silly, it may sound like you're being overly cautious, but to be honest, it's important. People waiting in your hotel room, people targeting you because you're a tourist or because you look vulnerable or you look like you're not paying attention are out there. Those kind of people exist, and they will target flight crew because a lot of times we stay at the same hotels in every city we go to. So we could have an alternate. Maybe we have one or two hotels in a city. There's one that's closer to the airport for short overnights and further from the airport for long overnights, etc. And when a pattern has been established, it makes it easier for you to become a target. So if they see, oh, this flight crew is always going to this hotel, then I'm gonna follow them, or I'm gonna be waiting for them. Oh, I know the flight comes in at this time, they'll be there maybe around this time, I'm gonna go wait. They're a target. So that's why if you're thinking about becoming a flight attendant, or even if you're traveling on vacation or leisure, don't tell people where you're staying. Don't give away your hotel information. Don't be loud and boisterous about it. You're making yourself a target in those situations. And then always be aware of your surroundings. Your body has a natural defense mechanism. If you start feeling funny, if you have a gut reaction to something, listen to that and follow it, But don't be walking with your head down in your phone. Don't have your headphones on. Be alert, be looking, be listening. Most of the time, people target and attack people that are somewhere else. Mentally, they're somewhere else. They're not paying attention to their surroundings, etc. So I always recommend checking your hotel rooms, especially if you're in other countries. You can also be targeted because you'll look like a tourist. You'll look like you don't belong, And people travel with valuables and all kind of stuff. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. There's a couple ways I suggest to check your room. If you're traveling with a companion, especially if it's a male, have them go in and check while you stand at the door, or have someone wait for you. If you're traveling with someone and you guys have separate rooms, say, hey, can you wait for me while I check my room just to make sure everything is clear? I'll do that with my other flight attendant a lot. We'll both take turns checking our rooms. Or if there's a situation where it's a hotel that seems kind of or something has recently happened at that facility, I'll have a captain go in and check for me. But you want to make sure you check. I've heard stories from flight attendants, firsthand accounts of people being in their rooms, people waiting behind their doors, hotels double booking rooms, so they walk in on someone that's in bed, they're sleeping, that person's scared, they're scared. I've had flight attendants tell me how they've been in their room and heard someone trying to get in. I just worked with this flight attendant. She said she was in her room and the door opened, and luckily she had the safety latch on, and a person was trying to stick something in and unhook the safety latch from the outside. So I always recommend doing the safety latch and doing the little extra latch that locks the magnetic key card on the outside. because people are crazy out here, straight up crazy. So I always suggest checking your hotel room, do the tips that I just showed you in the video, and take it seriously. Don't get lackadaisical. Don't be like, oh, I've never had a problem, I'm not gonna keep doing it. Be vigilant. Honestly, be vigilant. It's very important. And yeah, that's just the tip of the day. What is one thing you wish you knew before you started this whole journey becoming a flight attendant, before ground school and IOE and all of that?
Okay, this might make me sound a little stupid, but I've been a server for a very long time, and in all my interviews, all I thought was, oh, customer service, and then I got into training and I'm like, we didn't do any customer service.
Right.
It is all safety.
Yeah.
Everything. And of course I knew that safety was important.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize that was all of it.
Yeah.
We did safety every single day of training, and then it was like the very last day, like right before we were about to graduate, they pulled out the galley cards and were like, this is how you do service, and it was probably like 30 minutes and that was it.
Right.
So that would have been something good to know, is that whenever you do your interviews, it might help you out a little bit if you really focus on safety, because that is like the #1 thing.
Thank you.